Hello there. I hope you're doing well. A slightly bunged up Gary Turner today. I hope you're all doing okay. No COVID, but a pretty awful rotten cold over the last few days. But I still want to keep up with my weekly narration of some of the writing that Dennis Picotto has kindly shared on my behalf over the last couple of years on his incredible democratic and inclusive Biz Catalyst 360 platform. You can find out more about that at bizcatalyst360.com. But the one I wanted to share with you today is actually around do you have a line or a full house of addiction bingo, which is actually something a bit of a play on words, something a little bit playful, but bringing a pretty serious message, and one that I'll share shortly. But before I go through that today, I'd just like to remind people that may be watching this live or watching this back, that in the UK, across the 20th and the 21st of July 2022, Joe Homestead and I will be holding our second ever human development space in the beautiful Dorset countryside, around 2 hours south to southwest of London, easily accessible by train, just stunning, over 150 acres of woodland, lakes and grounds. You can stay on site should you be interested. There'll be a dinner on the evening of the 20th of July 2022 for anybody that's attending this 2-day event. And as you can see, it's incredibly cheap. To be honest, the value is far more exponential than the investment at just £200 for the 2 days, including lunch. Amazing human beings. I had the first few sign-ups already, and we're capping it at a maximum of 30 people to make sure that the experience is as intimate and as truly expansive as it was this in 2021. So if that's interesting, do let me know. Drop myself a note or drop Joe a note, and we'd love to invite you into the space. That would be awesome. So again, please bear with me. Got a bit of a bunged up nose. So here we go. This is the piece that I wrote a while back, I think it was about a year ago, called Do You Have a Line or a Full House of Addiction Bingo? So, firstly, a trigger warning. The topic of addiction will be discussed in the following article. I myself have a very addictive personality, which is brought to life through the following bingo card. Interestingly, no matter where I look, I keep being drawn back to 3 distinct focus areas. This is of my own life, but also the work I'm increasingly looking to do, both within my corporate job and also outside, which is a real focus on the connection to ourselves, connection to one another, and importantly, and quite often the piece that's missed, is the connection to systems at large. So all of the above are very much inside out, yet the connection to systems piece is critical and often bypassed when we're looking at how we interrelate with one another and the externalities of our decision making. However, until we first regenerate the human spirit from the inside out, I believe and I assert that it's difficult to feel, I emphasize feel, into regeneration of the planet and our approach to one another. We truly need to connect and feel and understand who and what we are as part of this connectivity before we can truly sense into other areas. I do believe that. That's been my own journey of the last several years. So, for example, I know that my emotions are just data points of where my thinking is in the moment. They're not fixed, nor do they mean anything in and of themselves. They're just data points. Just say, hey, check in for a second. What are you thinking? What's going on around you right now? So I also know that the stories I make up in my head are my biggest challenges to connecting with myself, with others, and also understanding my impact as Gary on wider systems. The more I overthink and or suppress feelings, the more likely my energy acts like an unintentional barrier around me. Consider that with this knowledge, I still consume sugary drinks. And I wrote this over a year ago, and I keep reducing the intake, and I keep going back to it. Honestly, it is an addiction. They're bad for my body. They use plastics that derive from crude oil. And interestingly, I sell one of the raw materials that goes into making PET bottles in my day job, which are only partly recycled. And yet I can't stop myself from drinking the stuff. This really is modernity. This is the culture that we've been brought up in and trained into. I share all of this, and whilst I know and understand all of this interconnectivity, and that not everybody's necessarily conscious of, I still make consciously bad choices. Why? That word addiction is important. So I was inspired, again, this is about a year old, I was inspired today to create this addiction bingo card to help bring an important, playful message to life. Excuse me. Before I go through each of these elements, what I want to do is share with you actually a little bit the other way around from the article. What is the definition of being addicted? Having an addiction, exhibiting a compulsive, chronic, physiological or psychological need for a habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity. Bear that in mind for you in this moment. How does that show up for you potentially in different areas of your life? So could you be addicted to self-importance, addicted to drink, addicted to sugary drinks like me, addicted to hyper-masculinity? You have to be seen to be the alpha. You have to be in control, otherwise XYZ. Addicted to drugs, addicted to winning, addicted to becoming successful, addicted to the boys club culture, addicted to sugary snacks. Maybe you're addicted to working crazy long hours and not seeing your family. What's going on behind that? Addicted to self-promotion, addicted to growth at all costs, addicted to competition. Maybe you're addicted to being right. Maybe you're addicted to praise or addicted to dominating other people. Maybe you're addicted to material wealth. Maybe you're addicted to your beliefs, addicted to suppressing feelings, addicted to feeling good, addicted to status symbols, maybe addicted to looking in the other direction when you can see harms taking place, addicted to being seen, addicted to choice, addicted to external validation, addicted to conformity, addicted to comfort. Maybe you're addicted to social media. Not an easy one. Maybe you're addicted to money or the idea of money. Maybe you're addicted to maintaining the status quo. Maybe you're addicted to excluding others. What addictions, especially behaviors, can you check off your addiction bingo card above? I can confirm open and vulnerably when I use my big virtual dabber to cross out over 75% of these addictions during my 45 years on the planet. And so very much work in progress, I can assure you. And one extra caveat I want to add into this mix for you in case helpful is that I've been really diving deep into what some would call white supremacy culture patterns. Others would say culture patterns, just to try and make it more engaging, although it does derive from the issues of white supremacy historically. It's been absolutely fascinating to learn how much we have been trained. I have been trained through my parents, through education, through society, through the workplace, to believe and to conform to a certain way of thinking and being. We are really on the edge, I believe, of being able to let all of that go. Oh my God, my nose is playing up. So, once again, consider the definition of addiction from Merriam-Webster. Exhibiting a compulsive, chronic, physiological or psychological need for habit-forming substance, behavior, or activity. So I offer this article as a reflective exercise only. If it's something provokes within you, please do seek inverted commas specialist help. And if you're an individual leader of other humans that is now ready to make the use of a thinking partner, an interpersonal guide in myself to go on your own vulnerability and inner connection journey so that you can realize healthier, more connected relationships at home, at work and beyond. A journey I've been on myself for over the past 6 to 7 years. And I continue to be on, then let's connect. Nobody is broken. We don't need fixing, but we do need, I would assert, to connect to ourselves, to one another, and to the wider world in a far more intentional, meaningful way if we're to turn around our current climate, societal, and workplace challenges around. I've said for a very long time that change is an inside job. The reality of this statement continues to sharpen its clarity for me, and I welcome your feedback, thoughts, and challenges as always. Now, I'm about to literally completely go crazy with my cold, so I'm going to bid you farewell. If you hear this on the Activated Consciousness podcast, please do share it with those that you think might benefit from the message. Please do subscribe to the Activated Consciousness podcast. Check out hexochangenow.com. That's my personal website where I'm offering the Strategic Advisor and Now Thinking Partner service. Some incredible results are being achieved by the people that I'm working with, including one who shared that they've managed to let go of over 25 years of internal blockage just by hearing themselves and be able to process in a way that they've not been able to process before, as I hold space for them to do so. So, speak to you soon. Stay safe. And again, if you're interested in being with up to 30 open-hearted, incredible, exploratory human beings. Come and join us across the 20th and the 21st July 2022 at the Human Development Space. You can find out more about that on Eventbrite, and the link's on the page now as well. Just go to Google, type in the Human Development Space, and you'll find out more about that. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.